hunting horn is a weapon that's very, very unique to a monster hunter. You can buff your team with a wide range of things depending on the horn that's being used. These things can range from attack up, fire resistance, healing, so on and so forth. Hunting horn also sports a lot of damage. Don't get it wrong here. It can buff, but it can also kill very quickly. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Being a blunt weapon, first and foremost, you're going to be wanting to hang around the head of the creature for those juicy KOs, much like hammer in this sense. Also, you may hear the term corner duder, aka singing songs while not engaging with the monster directly. Don't be that. We're going to showcase the songs and everything before we go into a fight here, but generally speaking, you want to do your songs as you do the fight. In Wild, you should prep or offset a song, or your offset song, I should say, offset melody. You can see in the top right over here. You should prep that, and because it stays in your queue forever, and you can use it whenever the need arises. So offset melody prepping, that's one thing. You should also do that while you fight, but you know, since it stays forever, why not? So we're going to be going over the songs really quick and the UI changes of what we currently have. We're going to be using the beta hunting horn. We don't have any other examples to use here, but if you go to your equipment information, you can kind of tab over and see the melody effects that we've been given. Self-improvement, attack up small, fire res small, sonic waves, echo wave blunt, and offset melody. So, depending on the hunting horn that you're using, again, your combos are going to be different, but the idea is generally the same. Our horn has 5 songs and an offset, so we're first going to just go over the melodies. White notes, these notes right here, those are triangle. So every time you have your hunting horn out and you press triangle, as you can see in the top right here, it'll play the white note. Every time you hit circle, that's the red note. And yellow is triangle and circle together. You combine these correctly with the melodies in the top left to create a song in this area right here. So if I wanted to use an attack up, for instance, I would get in combat and hit triangle, circle, triangle. And then you would use R2 to actually play the song. So just for, you know, educational purposes, we're going to be corner duders for now. So this is how you would do it. Triangle, circle, triangle. And as you can see, we have attack up S located right here. This is in queue for us right now. So if we hit R2, boom, we play the song. Now pay attention to this middle area right here where it currently says echo bubble. This is very important. I want to go over buffs really quickly. If your buff is yellow, like attack up S is, it's not cranked up to the max. It needs to be purple. Therefore, I need to play attack up S twice. Self-improvement is another buff that you want to keep up. I'll need to play this twice. Again, pay attention to this area right here in the top middle where it says echo bubble. You're going to see something called encore. We're going to do encore to get both of these buffs up at the same time. So we're going to do self-improvement this time. Triangle, triangle. Now as we play it, echo bubble will go away and you will see encore right there. Performance beat and encore. If we play encore, you play it twice. I didn't do it right that time. Let's do it again. I waited too long. So there we go. Now if you play encore, it will go again. Do the same thing with attack up. And there's the encore that gets played. So now that we have both of our buffs in purple here, you want to do this in combat, by the way, just in a real situation. You don't want to do this like standing out in the middle of nowhere. But this is generally how you do it. So before we get in really super deep on this, whenever you are setting up a song, you can always shorten a note as well by pressing back and then pressing the following note. You're going to do a little hilt jab attack and you're going to get your note. So for example, if I wanted to do a quick self-improvement, I would hit triangle, hold back on the joystick, and then I would hit triangle again for the hilt strike, and then play with R2. So I would do triangle, back triangle. Shit. Well, I did it wrong that time. I'm terrible at this. There we go. So there's a second self-improvement that got queued up there. But how we did that was triangle, back triangle, and you do a hilt strike and you get it quickly. This can happen with any note. We'll do echo wave blunt really quickly. So we'll do triangle, circle, back circle, not regular circles. Try that again. I'm still new at this. And bam, we got the hilt strike. So instead of doing the giant swing, we just did the hilt strike and got what we were looking for. As I said, buffs are maxed out when they're purple, so pay attention to that. Now, another thing we need to look at in the top left under your sharpness is your echoes. So right here beside these notes, you see these 3 little dots right here. I'm hovering my mouse over it currently. These are used for echo bubbles. Okay. Now, what is an echo bubble? If we go to our equipment again, we can get an explanation right here in the middle of the screen of an echo bubble. You will place this on the ground, and you and your team will get an evasion and a movement speed up boost from an echo bubble. So, let's just do one really quickly. X and R2 at the same time. You jump up, do a little jig, and bam, this little circle on the ground gives you movement speed and evasion up. Pretty cool. Really cool, actually. Okay, we can make this even cooler. So, typically speaking, how you want to do notes is you push a button, then you push another button, and then you push another button, right? And that'll get you, we just did echo wave blunt. All right, let's say we want to do fire res small. If you input yellow, red, white while performing an echo bubble, you can quick input the command. So let's do that really quick. We're going to do the echo bubble, and during that time of us doing the little jig, we can input, you know what, we'll do attack up S since it's just worn off. So let's do that. We go echo bubble, white, red, white. Boom. There we go. We got attack up small. Or we'll just go ahead and do this and encore it. Bam. Now we're back up to purple. Very quick. You can rebuff yourself super quick with this method. That is something you really need to pay attention to, though, because like I said, when the animation bubble or animation for echo bubble is going off, you can be really quick and get 3 notes in fairly quickly. Now, another way to do this, when you hit a weak spot on an enemy, you can get up to 5 notes, I believe, for free during that animation. I believe it's 5. Don't quote me on that, but it's more than 3. I do know that. Now, lastly, hunting horn sounds like a lot more complicated than what it really is. I'm no maestro by any means, but the basics are pretty cut and dry. As you're fighting, you're going to get yourself a purple self-improvement, purple attack up buff, and then just go crazy with echo wave blunt. Like if you just spam echo wave blunt, you're going to just blast through enemies. It does a lot of damage. You're going to queue up some while you're laying down echo bubbles, and then you're just going to rinse and repeat. So like a strategy that I was doing earlier when doing a hunt, and I'll showcase some of this now, I was popping off echo wave or echo bubble, and then stacking up echo waves and just doing triple songs in a row, and then doing an encore on the last one. So I got 4 echo wave blunts in a row. It was insane. Like I did like a 4-minute, and this is me being very new to the hunting horn scene. I did like a 4-minute Chatacabra on my first try. Now I get it, Chatacabra is kind of a joke monster, but still, not knowing what I'm doing and trying to learn the weapon or the basics of the weapon so I can make these videos, it was kind of impressive, to be honest with you. Now, also remember, combos will change depending on the hunting horn that's being used, and this is the only example that we currently have. But hopefully you get the general idea of, the basics with hunting horn. I'll be honest, again, I'm not the most experienced with hunting horn, but when we get a solid hunting horn user and hunts with us, things just go way smoother. It's honestly one of the best weapons, in my opinion, in the game. Now, every week until release, I'm going to be releasing a basics guide for a different weapon, all 14 until the game releases on February 28th. If you would like more, subscribe to the channel. We'll be posting Monster Hunter content, short form and long form, on the channel for a while to come. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your hunts.